I just want to do an update on my modular rig down here, which you'll see in a minute. So I've had some comments from you folks about the Nifty case and stuff. It's now full, as we'll see, so we go through it, and tonight we'll just focus mainly on the oscillator I've got in there, and have a listen to that. If you're new here, welcome. Guitars, synthesizers, sometimes some bass as well. Happy days. All right, let's dig in. Alrighty, so the Nifty case originally comes with the cells and the chips modules. I've kept those in because there's room for them. I do have one more module coming this week. So either the cells or the chips will have to go. I think I said in a previous video, the oscillators, there's two oscillators in chips, which are a bit punky, a bit lo-fi, which is fine. Don't mind that, but the tuning is a bit, yeah. So definitely needed a new oscillator or an oscillator upgrade. So the next new thing is an envelope follower, and the idea there is plug in a guitar or a bass or anything, and then do interesting things with the voltage that that envelope generator will generate based on the audio input. So that could be interesting. Have not really dug into that yet, so I don't really know what's going on with that, but that could be kind of fun and interesting. So the oscillator, the main upgrade I want to talk about tonight is the VCO. That is the A-110-2 basic oscillator from Doepfer. It's the vintage edition. It is similar to just their normal basic, I think it's the 110-1 VCO. The biggest difference is it doesn't have a sine output. It just has the saw, square wave, and triangle wave output, and then it's got some slight differences. There's no octave rotary. It's just a switch, a three position switch, but it does have some slightly different options for either hard sync or soft sync. I can't remember. I've just been looking at the manual, but there we go. So I've still got the vintage edition filter in there, ADSR filter, and then the A106 filter. Did I say filter? No, that's envelope filter. And then we got one of the Behringer units in here. The Behringer, I can't remember what they call that, but that has a lot of interesting things like an LFO section, a noise generator, a ring modulator section, and a sample and hold section. So really lots of tasty options there for playing with the sounds. It's got nice flashing lights and stuff, so it's like awesome. And then at the end here, we've got the A130 VCA, which got obviously output to the main outs there. So let's just hear this oscillator. And what I'll try and do is I'll try and just dial in just the rawest of sounds, although I will use my lexicon for a bit of reverb and a bit of delay. I don't know why you'd listen to a modular rig without a few effects, because it's pretty gnarly, completely dry. Okay, so I've got an ARP going on in my DAW, and I've got my keyboard set up as well. So down here we're going from Reaper in this case, out of the USB output into the Nifty case, set to channel 1, and then my CV1, this blue guy here, is just coming into the 1 volt per octave. And yeah, I've got the octave toggle switch set at the -1. What I'm finding is I'm having to set actually a MIDI transpose utility to transpose my MIDI notes down like 3 octaves, unless it's way too high pitched, the sounds that are coming out of that VCO, which is fine. I can do that, but yeah, it's just something to bear in mind. I don't know whether it needs calibrating differently, and if that's the thing, I don't know how to do that. But yeah. So that is the sawtooth just without any effects. Let's just do sort of tuning test. Okay, so it's flat at C7. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. Ooh. So tuning, rock solid. I mean, I'm just doing it, but with my ears, like. But yeah, awesome. Just sounds good as well. It sounds pretty good. I mean, it sounds really good. I'd say if we just add some what we got here, some large hall reverb. That's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Add some delay. Could play that all night long. It's great. It's great. It's great. Let's patch in let's do the triangle wave. Again, great. Just great. Let's patch in volume, the square wave. Oh, I need also its modulation for that to happen. Sounds really good. It sounds really good. So there's no sine output on this oscillator, but yeah. Now what's nice is yeah, let's do the nice. What's nice is you've got those 3 independent outputs for the different oscillators, so we could do things like, let's keep the square plugged into the filter, the audio in on the filter, then let's take the saw and we could put that straight into the second into the second output, which is obviously bypassing any envelopes. So it's just going to that sounds great. Let's do a similar thing with the triangle wave. I think that sounds pretty awesome. I mean, it's Doepfer's, I think it's their most basic oscillator. And it's a vintage edition, but which means you pay an extra $15 to have it in black, is what that means. But given this a basic oscillator, I think that sounds great. I think that sounds great. Now it'll be interesting to then have a bake-off between that compared to the Model D, compared to the Neutron I have around me. Yeah, so I'll do so probably in a separate video. I'll do a little bake-off comparison. But this sounds pretty good to me. Sounds pretty good to me. Let's patch something else up and listen some more. Okay, so sounding great. Now, to be honest, it's got there's an FM in here, and there's an exponential FM with its own encoder here. Not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing with those, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, I'm still learning this stuff, right? So I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing with these two fellas. And I've got soft sync and hard sync. Not a sausage. No idea. No idea what I'm meant to be doing with them. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be feeding those control voltages, gates, audio. So there's some more playing involved to get some interesting sounds out of it. Definitely. If you know what I should be doing those, let me know in the comments. One thing we can do is you can do something simple. So we can map the modulation output of the Nifty bundle here to the pulse width modulation. Nice. And so that'll affect obviously the square wave, and then we can get some cool effects with that. Oh, and completely kills it. Nice kind of rippy sound. all night long I can play that. Fantastic. Now, one thing, I don't know whether you can see that on the camera, but I've got to tune it. My tuning button is set to like past 2, almost 3. So, you know, and using this sort of the octave button. Up an octave. Yeah, up an octave again. So as I say, I'm having to set the DAW MIDI transpose down 3 octaves. So I'm not sure whether I need to calibrate it in a slightly different way. Okay, here's a patch. What have I got? So we've got we've got a mixture of the square wave and the sawtooth wave. My modulation source is going into the frequency CV in of the LFO section, and then the LFO output is going to the pulse width modulation, which gives me this sound. Now I can control that from my LFO. Sounds good, doesn't it? Sounds good. Let's do a little jam. All right. We'll do an outro jam. Any questions, I'll do my best in the comments. Cheers, folks.